up, guys? It's welcome to another LBA battle. This is actually the first round of the LBA playoffs. We qualified as the 3 seed entering the playoffs, which is actually pretty cool. And we're going to be playing against Johnny Diesel, aka JJ, aka that guy who drafted Rain that we played earlier this year. If you guys remember that matchup, we ended up winning 3-0 in a very, very tightly contested game. And it is going to be another tight one this week. So anyway, looking at his team real quick, he has Togekiss, which is kind of an issue because not a whole lot on my team breaks it independently outside of Thundurus and Gothitelle. He has Ludicolo, which is interesting because it can run a lot of different sets. Then he also has Tangrowth, which is just fat. It's annoying. He has Pert, which is Mega Pert. Kingdra, and he has Politoed. And then on my side of the field, I got your boy Gothitelle, Gyarados, Weezing, Clefable, Thundurus, and Slowking. And as you guys can probably see by the title of this video, not the title, the length of this video, this is actually kind of a long one. Is this playing? Yeah, that's playing. Alright, so as we can see, JJ is issuing a challenge right here, and this is going super speed because this video is actually really long. But as you guys can see, I do get a very favorable turn 1 lead matchup. As he leads Politoed, I lead Gothitelle, and I can just 2-hit KO him despite the crit with Energy Ball, so that's very nice. He's going to go ahead and go out into his Kingdra right here, which we do discover later in the match is Scarf. But your boy Home and Hype get it because, like, he's slow and he doesn't get that Oras started to come out. Got him. Anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and get up a screen because I'm a 100% counter to that there Kingdra. And this is actually Physical Thundurus because, I feel that Physical Thundurus kind of matched up really well versus team, even though he does have stuff like Swampert. My moveset this week is Bulk Up, Fly, Thunder Punch, and Grass Knot, but, what you gonna do about it? So he ends up going for the Protect right here on my Grass Knot, which is fine. And like all this stuff is kind of irrelevant stuff, which is basically just me getting miscellaneous damage on everything on his team. And right here, the play really was the Fly. So a little bit of a misplay right there. But ends up working out for me either way later in the match because I still have Thundy around. But he's just going to go back out into Team Player on the T-Wave for Slowking because, Slowking is going to be my Kingdra check just as Gyarados is my Pert counter. So, I'm going to force him out because, my name is Pert Counter, and when something is Pert Counter, you're kind of scared out by that. So, anyway, I end up making, like, a decent double, I think, into Gothitelle so that I can trick off an item to whatever comes in. And at this point, I know that Slowking can pretty much handle anything, does get the burn on the first time around, which is pretty fortunate for me, not gonna lie. But it's like, that's why you run Scald over Surf for the burn chance. So, anyway, he goes into Ludicolo as I try to T-Wave, which is a little bit embarrassing, because he's Sub-Seed. But Psyshock is going to help me out right here. And kind of the 3 Pokemon defensive core that I have going here of Gyarados, Clefable, and Slowking serves me really well because they wall almost all of his team. And as you guys can see, the MVP is going to lock this game down right here. It's not going to do quite as much work as it did last week, but, got a 6-0 last week by virtue of Calm Mind being kind of dumb. But anyway, he's just going to lock himself into Roost right here with Togekiss, which basically just means that I have an opportunity to get my rocks up at my leisure. I'm not actually Calm Mind this week because I felt like it didn't match up as well versus the rest of his team. Actually, I just went for Moonblast, which was kind of a subpar play. But I am, of course, T-Wave, and, while, like, T-Waving right there may be kind of a dick move, I wanted to ensure that I could recover before he attacked me, because if he had any move like Leaf Storm, which, as we will see, he does have, then, I can recover off before him. But anyway, the MVP Clefable is going to pick up kind of a niche KO right there because, I have Grass Knot, so that's very cool. So Clefable is actually doing a lot of work because it got rid of Pert, which makes Gyarados' job a lot easier and just kind of blanket checking some of his other stuff by virtue of its typing, and the fact that I'm running basically max HP and physical defense. But he goes back out into his Togekiss, and not a very good situation for him right here, although he does reveal the Heal Bell to get rid of the paralysis on Tangrowth. But still not necessarily great for him because I know that I can get a free switch out into my Thundurus and just use Fly and get a kill right here. And as long as I don't miss, which I don't, end up knocking that thing out. But anyway, unfortunately, I'm going to have to sack Thundurus right there because I have no spinner. I killed his defogger, and it'll just die to rocks when it comes back in. So my best play was to sack right there to get a little bit of momentum because I do get to get a free Moonblast off. And now I'm going to go into 2 Wheezy, and unfortunately, he knocks off my Custap Berry because I had actually kind of a cool set plan this week. It was Endure, Custap, Explosion. Like, the moves were Endure, Willow, Explosion, and Sludge Bomb. It's like Explosion or Self-Destruct, either one. And the idea was to weaken one of his Rain Sweepers and then think they could get an easy KO and then basically turn around and be able to say, no, like, I'm Endure Custap and I'm getting a kill I'm getting a kill right here. I was actually T-Bolt because for a second I thought he had Toxicroak when I was making the team, but, you know, hindsight's 50-50, 2020. I said 50-50 because, like, Aegislash and 50-50s and all that garbage. But anyway, as you guys can see, it's basically just a lot of switching around at this point. And shoutouts to D-Train, actually, for making this go super fast, because this is a pain in the ass to deal with. It is so bad. Like, this point in the battle may have been the worst point in my Wi-Fi battling career, which is very short. But because, like, as you guys can see, there's like 0 point to this. I'm basically clicking T-Wave because I don't have max PP on Moonblast, and I can just pretty much continue to click Soft Boiled and weaken this Ludicolo. It's not really that much of an issue for me, and Moonblast is doing absolutely nothing. But, you know, it is my best play to stay in here. So, you know, I end up going for T-Wave right there on the switch Tangrowth, which is nice because basically my entire team can recover before that now. And now it basically turns into a game of how many times can I pivot around, stall out some PP on his moves, and all that stuff. Anyway, I'm going to go for the Endure right here. Not get burned by Scald, but unfortunately he lives the burn. So it's going to be a double down rather than Ludicolo living, which is, like, it's a little bit unfortunate because I would have liked to kaboom against something, but just didn't end up working out that way. So at this point, it's basically going to turn into me trying to PP stall out his Tangrowth, because if I recall correctly, it is his last. No, he has this and Kingdra, which are his 2 last mons. And I know as soon as I get rid of Kingdra, I have the capacity to PP stall the rest of his team. So it basically turns into how many times can I pivot around and do all this great stuff. I can just absorb the knockoffs, and I can slowly whittle him away with Grass Knot, because Grass Knot has like a ton of PP. But close call right there as he does reveal the Leaf Storm. But he's kind of outplaying me at this point in the game because like he has a Grass type left, while I have something that can be PP stalled by Tangrowth and 2 Water types. So at this point, it's not really looking good for me, especially due to the fact that Kingdra can just kind of run over my team once Fable is gone and Slowking is weakened. So at this point, it basically just turns into a PB stalling fest. So I'm going to use this time to talk about some other things, and it's going to be sort of like a shout-out session to all the people who make the LBA videos on my channel possible week in and week out. First of which is Brendan, because he helps me build teams, and he's also just a great guy. He may try to get back into uploading if he cannot get Camtasia to be just like actually a disease to download onto his computer. Also, important moment in that battle, he knocks off my Light Clay, meaning that I can come in on knockoffs from now on. So, anyway, regardless, shout outs to Brendan for helping me build teams and stuff, and just generally making sure my sets don't look whack week in and week out. Also, shout out to D-Train for 2 reasons. The first of which is you really helped me like discuss strategy and all this great stuff, and help me cover up patches that I would otherwise miss, which are pretty lame. Like bringing Wheezing versus Greel, which was actually really important and helped me a lot. And then, let's see, what other things? Oh yeah, for recording this, but look at that, Res Gyarados, the innovation, friends. Because I can just get some favorable rolls right here, and as soon as he goes for the Leaf Storm, I know I'm set, which he goes for right there. I'm just gonna continue to spam grass, and actually really pivot. I'm gonna pause for a second, like not the video, but really pivotal point because I get rid of his King Drip by playing kind of ballsy with Clefable. So at this point, I'm fairly certain I can PP stall him out. But as you guys can see, it is not that easy. So anyway, shout out to D-Train also for recording this. I know sometimes it's a pain as he crits me right there, which is unfortunate. So now I have 2 water types to PP stall out his grass type. So you know, it's not looking good for me. But shout out D-Train for recording all my stuff. And did he just, yeah, okay, so shout out D-Train for recording all my stuff, and pause from the shout outs again, because basically what we were trying to do right here is set the game back to normal circumstances. He needed to be at -2, and Gyarados needed to be asleep. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch out, let it take a knockoff, get this thing to -1 how it was, and then I'm going to rest as he knocks off. I'm going to rest again as he knocks off because it's the least amount of damage you can do. And now we are off to the races. So anyway, also shout out to Wyatt, aka Merc, for jetting me my mods. He has a YouTube channel as well, which I will hopefully link in the description. Upload some pretty cool stuff every now and again. And you know, thanks for jetting me my mods. Really appreciate it. Like, you're actually just a super chill guy. All in all, like, you 3 really helped make the LBA possible for me, and not only help me participate in the league, but help me do the other things, such as like, even at a very basic level, like, I wouldn't be able to compete in this league if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you all very much. Anyway, so kind of back to the battle, because the PP stalling part is nearing its end. I do get up a light screen as like, very unfortunately for him now, he is at -4, I believe, and I'm just going to continue to click Waterfall because it is my best play. He goes for Leaf Storm. I know I can tank that. He is now at -6 special attack, and I'm behind a light screen. So despite the fact that I have 2 water types, like, that Giga Drain is doing 0. And as long as I get some favorable sleep talk rolls, we can, like, pretty much call this one a wrap. And even if I don't, it's basically preventing me from getting crit, as he just decides to run right there, knowing that he cannot win from that point forward. And like, we had kept counts on our PP, and pause, and he had run out at that point, so he just decided to throw it in, call it a forfeit. So anyway, picking up the 2-0 win over JJ. Very good game, man. If you do end up watching this, you know, all in all, I thought it was a pretty good game. It was very tightly contested, but we are moving on to round 2 of the LBA playoffs. So if you guys are hyped for that and did enjoy this battle, please make sure to leave a like, as it really does help show support for the stuff that I'm doing here on the channel. Also, make sure to answer today's comment question of the video, which is, what is the longest Wi-Fi battle you guys have ever had? This one actually went to timer, and then like 12 minutes after, so it was like 72 minutes all in all. This shit was a movie, man. Anyway, with that, I urge you guys to subscribe if you guys are enjoying the constant content, and with that, I'll catch you on the flip-flop.